Just an important reminder that the left is a violent movement, always has been, always will be. They are violent revolutionaries, and every single communist revolution or socialist takeover always is bloodshed in the streets. They've already put a bullet in Trump's head. They put a bullet through Charlie. They put bullets into multiple members of Congress on a baseball practice field, and they've committed hundreds, if not thousands, of smaller acts of violence on campuses or at MAGA rallies all across the nation. Not a week goes by without some sort of horrendous, heinous, violent act. It's now been completely normalized. The media doesn't even cover it anymore because they're in on it. That's the point. They like it. They like the violence. The Democrats, who of course clutched their pearls and cried at the federal psyop that was January 6th, said nothing about what their activists were doing to Washington, D.C. in the months leading up to January 6th. And that's because they wanted power and they used violence in order to get power. Make the hurting stop. Make the chaos stop. Just elect us. Just give us power and it'll stop. That's what they said. Put Joe Biden in. Take your medicine. Swallow the pill. And we'll stop rioting. And in fact, they did. They ended the madness. This is what your White House looked like in the summer of 2020. This is not some far off field in the middle of Pennsylvania or whatever. These are the grounds of the White House. You can see the White House right in the back there. This is what the so-called sacred grounds of Washington, D.C. and our nation's capital look like. It looked like a violent revolutionary purge. Look at the burning dust bins, the churches lit ablaze. This is a bathroom and restroom facility and storage facility lit ablaze. The left never suffered anything for this. Nobody ever even went to jail for doing this. Nobody was arrested. They pulled away the barricades. They attacked the cops. They burned at the churches. They surrounded members of Congress. This is Rand Paul and his wife. They attacked them in the streets. They hit the police officers. I wasn't too far away from Rand Paul when this was happening. It's like French Revolution stuff. And of course, obviously, this is what they did to the stores in downtown DC. Downtown DC is still a shell of itself because every business realized that they could be looted at any time and nobody would stop them. Look at this. Here's the Apple Store. Yes. But in the same moment, of course, Apple tweets, Black Lives Matter. This is how it always happens. This is how it always goes. The madness of this moment. Here we go. This is the White House grounds. This is the official White House grounds. Anyway, why am I showing you this old stuff? Here it comes. Here comes the statues that they're pulling down right in Washington, D.C. Right in Washington, D.C. And this is right in front of the White House. It's Andrew Jackson statue. Right in front of the White House. This is the White House gate right there. Look at this. So they stormed the ramparts, they stormed the gates, and they attached. They were here to pull this statue down. Thank God they were dispersed before this priceless piece of history could be pulled down. But the history means nothing to them. These are year zero communists. Lesser known attack was on the Lincoln and World War II memorials in Washington, D.C. National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. was defaced and spray painted with graffiti on May 31st, 2020. And so was the Lincoln Memorial. So none of these things mean anything to them, and they'll do it again. And they're signaling right now that they're going to do it again. Get ready. It's 2 years and 2 years shy of the 2028 presidential election. They will create some type of op in order to burn Washington down again. They will create a new insurrection, and that is exactly what they were. What are we going to do as a response to it? How will we shut it down? Because they've already started. This was the World War II memorial yesterday. A vandal poured bubbles into the fountains. This is, of course, a desecration of a hallowed monument. Most people, whatever your take is on Washington, D.C., the parties in power or whatever, know that these memorials to our sacred dead should be respected. But of course they weren't. Look at this. It was nasty graffiti, spray paint, clean hands, dirty dollars painted on the World War II memorial yesterday. Interior investigating the vandalism. The Interior Department is investigating a case of vandalism at the World War II memorial. Spokesperson for the department said the U.S. Park Police were on the scene investigating, blaming vandals for neon orange, pink, and green graffiti sprawled across the Atlantic Pavilion's thick layers of bubble in the fountain. The words clean hands, dirty dollars were written alongside of the fountain. The vandalism that occurred is an utter disgrace and will not be tolerated, said the Interior Department spokesperson. The public should know that we will find the person responsible for this act. Don't you have like flock cameras all over there? You know, it's like, have they ever been used to solve a crime, or are they just tracking people that are, you know, that owe the government taxes? Right? It's a good question. It's amazing. Why a lot of criminals still roaming the streets? Why is that exactly? With our surveillance state, if you can't catch this person, then what's the point, right? The National World War II Memorial sits between the Washington Monument and Lincoln Memorial. No arrests have been announced. The officials did not specify whether they believe graffiti carried a political message. Of course it did. The message is that we are here to, there's nothing sacred. Your history doesn't matter. We can attack your most sacred monuments right in front of the White House. This is just steps from the White House grounds. And no matter how many National Guard troops you put on the ground, no matter what, you won't be able to stop us. So here it is. We'll do it right here in broad daylight. Outrage erupting. People fought and died for our country. It's dishonoring the country. Throw them in prison. I mean, when are they going to come for Arlington National Cemetery? You know that's next. You know that's going to happen next. They're year zero communists, meaning that they don't want America to exist any longer. They want America to fail. They don't share any history with us. This is the problem with importing untold human waves of bioweapons from the third world, is that they share nothing with your history. Your history means nothing to them. They'll be cold. They'll be tired. They'll be psyoped by they come with a third world mindset, and they will make a fire out of your beautiful oak door, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. The crime scene is locked down. National Guard are on site. Vandals sprayed and poured chemicals into the water, all because the left is upset that Trump is beautifying the Capitol, which he is. I was just in the United States Capitol. I travel there pretty often for work. It's gorgeous. I've never seen it so beautiful. Never seen the monuments and the statues so pristine. So just a sign of things to come.
Bubbles in its fountains.
People fought and died for our country, and it's dishonoring this country and all we've been through. And I came here to pay respect to those who fought for our country before I did.
Okay. I'm just reminded, you know, everything from the vandal at the reflecting pool to sort of looking through what the left was capable of doing just a few short years ago, you know, just a couple of years ago. And I'm reminded that this is exactly what they're going to do in the next 2 years. They're not going to get the kind of power that they want after the midterms. Who knows who will win the midterms? I don't know. But they won't get what they want. What they want is the full executive. They want a clean sweep of power. The American people don't want to give it to them, so they're going to try and take it through violent means. And so you need to be prepared. You need to keep your head on a swivel. I'm just shaken and reminded that this is exactly what they're capable of, and this is what they're going to do to seize power in the next few years. So be ready, ladies and gentlemen. Be ready for the fight. Be ready to do what must be done in order to prevent the orcs from taking over Helm's Deep, in order to prevent the Mongols at our doors. This is what they're going to do. They'll burn DC to the ground before they let a populist, a nationalist, somebody who loves America and the West, Christianity, and everything that this country's built this country and everything that it stands for, before they let that continue in power. They'll burn it. They'll burn it to the ground. They'd rather rule over the ashes. It's been proven in California, New York, and every other blue state. They'd rather rule over the ashes. Trust me. So be ready for the fight. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.